Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as RetroLemon, and I think this is episode 136. Sounds about right. So a big hello and welcome to any new viewers, and a big hello and thank you to all returning viewers. Real quick on the rundown for the knit along. We are halfway through September, so there is still like 6 weeks left to start your striped sweater. So we are doing any striped sweater. Even if you take a plain sweater and just add stripes, that works out too. You have all the way through October 31st to get that knit, and you must take a picture and put it in the finished object thread, and that's it. Simple. Super simple. So we have 2 prizes up for grabs. Both of them have been donated. So big thank you to those 2 wonderful ladies. And the first one is a skein of Lamiza. 100% superwash merino in the Bussy colorway, and a skein of Daisy Knits in her vine base, and the colorway is Tango. Beautiful green. Both are fingering weight yarns. And then I'm really excited. So I've been helping out at the knit shop during the yarn discovery tour, and the pattern that the yarn shop is giving away, because how it works is if you spend $10 at a knit shop, you get a stamp in your little booklet, and you get a free pattern and entered into the drawing for the prize basket for that shop. So I was asked to design the pattern for Black Locust Farm this year, and it is this cowl called Humility and Grace. So it doesn't really go with my striped sweater. But anyways, I'm really excited because, well, I'm bummed the yarn tour ends Saturday, the 20th is the last day, because I've had so much fun doing it. I've had so much fun being at this shop extra hours and meeting so many people. But that means Sunday, the 21st of September, this pattern will be available for purchase on Ravelry. It'll be a $5 pattern. And, yeah. Easy peasy. So look for that if you're interested. It calls for DK weight. So you need roughly about 100 yards. This is made out of Noro Ayatori. I used like an entire skein, had a wee little bit left over. It was a 50-gram ball. I used Barocco Vintage to make one of the other shop samples and used about half a skein. So you get 2 out of a Barocco Vintage DK skein because it is 100 grams. So look for that. And I think that's all that there is. There is a pattern page for this on Ravelry. So if you want to add it to your queue or your favorites, you can do that already. And that's it for the business aspect. Finished objects, I have none this week. This has been a crazy week. Woo. No yawning this week. I was telling myself no yawning because last week I felt I yawned through the whole show, but I was whooped, and this week was no exception. I was at the shop 4 days, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's just like so busy. Like we're on our feet all the time. Because normally we have time to sit around and chit chat and knit, and there was not really a whole lot of that. Which is good because that means we're busy, and if we're busy, that means other shops are busy, and that's good for all the knit shops. So I did not get to seam the baby sweater I was making. So it's all in pieces. It is just the rounded neck cardigan out of the Euro Baby Babe sweater pattern book. Let's see if I can finagle the pattern here. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done, this top one. So it's just a really simple cardigan. I gotta seam it, and I have to get it to the knit shop this weekend. So like I said, I am knitting it out of Euro Baby Babe Soft Cotton Chunky. I knit a Priscilla the Persnickety Pig out of this a while back. This yarn is so nice. It is so soft. It is so squishy. I want a blanket for me out of this. So it is, let's see, 55% acrylic and 45% cotton. And it is just so soft. It is so nice to knit with. And I was, you know, I hear acrylic cotton and I'm like, not so much. So I know I really have not made any progress on that, but I thought I'd show it again since that's, I was thinking, okay, I will go and I will at least get it seamed up and finished so I can show it on the show. But then I got distracted. And you'll see why. Because I've been having way too much fun with this project. So, since we are doing the striped sweater knit along, I have been knitting on my striped sweater. It is almost finished. I'm so excited. So here it is. Let's see. So you have the garter stitch edging at the bottom of the main part of the body. And just like 2 rows, a row or 2 rows on the end of the cuff. And I've woven in all my ends, but I don't cut my strings until after I block it. But I am so in love with the colors. Let's see, where's the, there we go. Trying to find the shoulders. So here's the yoke. Try to flatten out. I have to put the button band on it and the collar. So the collar pretty much is just like the garter stitch edging. Will also be up by the neck, and then it'll also be the button band on both sides. So I have like an aqua, I think that's splash. The lime green is grass. The orange is cider. The deep tealish blue is moonlight. And then the cream color is ice cream. The brown that the main part of the body in is chipmunk. And it is Spud and Chloe's sweater. So here, I'm going to show you the back so you can see the colors up close. I love these colors. Now, I can't take all the credit for picking out these colors because the sweater comes in an adult size pattern and a child size pattern. So, not many people have knit the adult size. And it's late in the day. It's like almost dinner time. I normally record early in the day. So it throws me off a little. Deepest apologies. So I was looking through the kid sizes of the cardigan for color ideas because there were a lot more of the children's size patterns knit than the adult size patterns. Well, I happened to come across one, a very cute little girl, and the yoke of hers are the same colors, only the body of her sweater was like an eggplant purple. And while it was really cute, I'm not a purple kind of girl. So instead of doing the purple, I decided to go with the brown. And I think I'm really happy with it. You can see my bobbin swinging around here. Tuck that in. Because it's really weird. They have you put all of the stitches like in the armpit on scrap yarn. I haven't read ahead yet, but if I had to imagine, I would think you'd just put these on needles and then like 3 needle bind off them or Kitchener them or something. But I'm not there yet, and I'm trying to do it in order and not skip ahead. And if I didn't have well, I guess I can just make you wait and see how it looks on me when it's all done. Because I was like, well, I could take off my tea with jam and bread. I have a t-shirt on under it and try this on. But it's really cute. I love it. I love it so much. I don't know why many people haven't knit this pattern yet, because the original one is the same color brown and it's like shades of greens, tans, and stuff for the yoke. But I love these colors. This is all of my favorite colors all in one, and I'm so very, very happy, and it fits great. I think once I get the button band on it, it's going to be a perfect fit. So I knit the medium, I think. But the pattern was really easy. I found a couple errors, mainly like it'll tell you it's supposed to be the wrong side, and it's not the wrong side, it's the right side. Otherwise, all of the other numbers, except for one, and it wasn't a count number, it's like, you know, knit to like X amount of stitches before the marker, and what was it, like slip slip knit, so an SSK. And instead of, like, I think it says like till 2 stitches before, it should be 3, because then she wants you to knit 1. But whatever, I mean, it easy enough to fix as long as you don't let little things like little errors like that trip you up. Otherwise, the explanation for the pattern is really good. All the numbers, you know, like how many stitches you're supposed to have at certain stages have all been correct. Let me see, I should have the pattern. I do. So it is the Right is Rainbow Women's Cardi. It is by Telly B Knits, and that's what the pattern looks like on Ravelry. So super cute, super easy. You know, and it's so funny because I really don't like bottom-up sweaters. Mainly because I like to... Oh, yarn. Mainly because I like to try them on as I go and make sure it's fitting. I did try the sleeves on, and I'm like, well, they seem like they're long enough. Because I don't like my sleeves too long either. So when I got done with the body, you know, I held it up under the armpits, and everything seemed like it was fitting good. But I'm always a little skeptical. But that actually fit really good. I mean, really, really happy with how it's knitting up and turning out so far. And then, so I really wanted something to work on at the LYS that I could sit down and pick up and it not be a problem. Like with seaming that little sweater, originally I took it and like immediately I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to like get in the middle of seaming this thing together, have to sit down to help a customer and come back. I think it would have just messed with me too much. So I started something new. I started another sweater. I know. So I started, it is Emerald by Isabel Kramer. Make sure that's right. The pattern's not in here. Isn't there Isabel? Yeah, anyway, she's the same person that did the driftwood. I know it's called Emerald. I wish I had the pattern in here. It doesn't really fit in this bag. I'm using this bag. It's a Cackleberry Creations bag, and I love it because it's really big and huge. And she made it for me. It has lemons. But it's not quite big enough to put the pattern in. So it is a little short sleeve sweater. I think it can also, I think people have also modified it for long sleeves. So it's a Henley. So it does have, you know, it's got it. I haven't put the button band on it yet, but it will have a button band, as many of her sweaters are, Henley style. And it's kind of hard to see here. I'll turn it, you can see the back. So it's really neat because it's just plain stockinette, and then it almost looks like the smocking that you don't really see it on adult patterns or garments as you do girls stuff. And I don't know, I haven't seen smocking really on anything in a long time. I know sometimes people who still make homemade stuff use it. So I might need to scoot up in my chair to show you because I really want you to be able to see the detail. So let's see. It really needs blocked out, but you can kind of see it's right this band here. There you go. Maybe you can see it. Anyways, it's really cute. And then after you do this little area, you go and you increase so it kind of flares out, and it's very A-line. So I promise it's going to be it's going to be a lot cuter than what it is right now. but I really am loving the pattern. The pattern is easy. It was really fun to do. I'm trying to think what she called it. A queen something quilting pattern. I can't recall. But like I said, to me it looks like smocking, and you start in the back. So the construction was really neat. You start in the back and you knit. So you kind of like knit the square, and then you go over, or no. I'm sorry. So you provisionally cast on, and I'm really not giving out too much, but the construction is really neat because I was kind of confused. Like I couldn't picture it in my mind. So you go and you start, and then you knit to past like the little smocking area. And then you go and you pick up so many stitches, and you do one side and then the other, and then you finally get to join it in the round. And at first, like, I couldn't see the forest through the trees kind of situation. I'm going, well, this is odd. Like, and I'm not real good about reading too far ahead on my patterns, because then I end up overwhelmed. So, anyways, really, really brilliant construction. I've really, really enjoyed it. I am knitting it out of Fiber Spates. It is their Vivacious DK. I put the tag in there so you can see it. So, Vivacious DK. And it is 100%, dropped it. It is 100% superwash merino. Color 80805, and I think it was called Deep Forest, if I remember correctly. It is so nice to work with. This yarn is so soft and so squishy. So, I am alternating skeins because it is a hand-dyed. Let's see. So, kind of catch all the colors. So it's kind of like a tealy green, of hunter green, little splashes of brown in it, almost some like kind of emerald greens. It is just gorgeous. And I was kind of concerned, just a tiny bit, not enough to not make me knit the pattern with it, but I was a little concerned that the detail on the shirt might get a little lost with a tonal yarn. I wouldn't quite call it variegated because they're all within somewhat of the same shades, but maybe a little variegated. A variegatedly, tonally kind of sweater or yarn. So I was concerned that the sweater was going to lose some of the detail, but when you see it in person, I think it really kind of makes the detail pop a little more. And definitely, I mean, makes it beautiful and not boring whatsoever. I think if I would have knit it in just a plain solid, I would be bored out of my mind. It's been really easy to alternate skeins. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's been a couple times where I'd have to cut the yarn, you know, and whatnot, but that doesn't bother me at all. So far I've almost used up the 2 skeins that I'm alternating, and soon I'm going to have to start with the other ones. I'm almost afraid, like, I'm going to not, like, I'm going to have at least a skein's worth left over. I'm going to be like, grumble, 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 because then I overbought yarn-wise, right? And I've already wound them up and used half of each skein, so it's not like I can return it, because I hate overbuying. I mean, underbuying yarn is so much worse. I fully acknowledge that. Absolutely so much worse. Because then you have to worry about dye lots. But I did overbuy for my striped sweater, my Right as Rainbow. I still have a whole skein of the brown chipmunk colorway left. And I bought it online, so I can't return it. But it's not wound up. It's still in its original hank. And I can at least destash it when the sweater's all done, and I know for sure that I'm not going to use it, because I think I also have at least a third of a skein as well that I didn't use. So more than enough left over. then I'll put it up on the D-stash, and hopefully it'll find a good home. So those are the only things I've worked on this week, because between being at the shop and just home life type stuff, super busy. I do have a little bit of Yarny goodness to share. So, with helping out at the LAS and making samples, I got to bring a little bit of yarn home. Yay! Super excited. I got 3 skeins of Madeline Tosh Merino Light, also known as TML, in the Baltic colorway. This makes me so happy. Baltic is my favorite Madeline Tosh color. I've owned it on all kinds of different bases, from the TML to the Sport to the DK. I've used it in a bunch of different, well, I've only used it in one actual project. I have other projects that I want to use it for. But I think this is going to be a Haida Fute. And I did already have yarn to make a Haida Fute. I had some TML in gray in the Turn colorway. But, you know, I saw somebody on Ravelry's made out of the Baltic. And Baltic being my favorite Madeline Tosh colors it was, I was like, oh, kind of was having some, like, major knitter envy there. I love it. I could sleep on it right like this. And mine doesn't stink too overly vinegary, thank goodness. I mean, it's there. It's a hint. But, so, and then it was really fun being able to be at the LAS and pick out my 3. Because normally when I order Madeline Tosh, and I know usually online yarn shops really try to do the best they can to eyeball it and match the skeins for you. At least a good online LIS who has great customer service that does that. But it was really fun to be able to compare them all, like, in natural lighting, and, like, I took them to the window and I'm like, no, this one's definitely too dark. No, that one's definitely too light, and kind of get the ones that felt just right. Kind of like Goldilocks. And these ones are just right. I'm not saying they're not slightly different in their own ways, but I felt these were the 3 out of the lot that best were suited to be knit together. So I would really like to start that soon. But I have so many striped sweaters I want to knit. I want to get at least 1 more done during the knit along, if not 2. I'm being very ambitious this time. So, that's it for the knitting. So if you leave me now, I will see you next week. And if you're sticking around, we're going to move into a slice of life. So part of the reason that I'm recording so late today is because my husband had the day off, and we went and ran around and just kind of had a fun kind of date day. We got up and we got the kids off to school, and we went and drove to my favorite flea market that I hadn't been to in years. And it's kind of sad because it definitely is not as busy as it used to be. Although it is Wednesday. They have it twice a week, so on Saturdays it's probably definitely busier, I would imagine, because I know people have normal, you know, weekday jobs, and I'm sure on the weekends you get more people. But I found exactly what I wanted, and the guy wouldn't sell it to me. He was kind of using it as a display and had stuff in it. It was this little toolbox thing that I really wanted, and that's exactly what I was looking for. And it was in blue. It was so pretty. And he wouldn't sell it to me because he had tools in it, and he's like, well, come back at the end of the day, and maybe I'll sell it to you then. And I'm like, I'm leaving now. Like, it's like around 11 o'clock, if not a little bit. Yeah, it was around 11 o'clock. I'm like, I'm heading home now. Like, I'm not waiting till 4 o'clock to see if you're going to sell me this, especially if you're going to tell me no. So kind of bummed, major want, like, find what I want, can't have it. And then we went and hit another little, it's a very little, like, flea market that's, like, literally right down the road. totally struck out there. They really didn't have much at all. And then we went to my favorite Chinese restaurant for lunch, which was awesome. It was so good. And it's so much better to eat there at the restaurant because they have like $5 lunch specials. And if you eat there, you get tea and soup. But if you get it to go, you just get the rice and whatever course you pick. So it was so much fun. We went to a couple antique stores on the way home that, you know, just for fun that we kind of hit because we could. We had no time restrictions just to be home, you know, to get the kids from school. So it was so much fun. We had such a great day. And, at the flea market. So there's this bakery that has a booth. And the bakery's open in their normal location every day. But they've had this booth at the flea market like ever since I can remember. And this is the flea market I used to work at in high school. So it was so good. They have these things called snoogles. I've never met too many people that when I say snoogle, they know what I'm talking about. So I'm curious, if you know what a snoogle is, you gotta tell me. Like, yeah, I've totally heard of those. So it's pastry. It's really thin, flaky, delicious pastry. And it's really long. And then they put cream cheese in it and they roll it. So they're about yay wide and yay long. And, you know, you eat them long ways. Like, or no, anyways, you start from one end and eat at the other. Like you would a hot dog. But they're really long. They're like a little over a foot long. And like I said, they have cream cheese in the middle and then they're glazed on top and they are a little slice of heaven. So I got a snoogle. So just a great day that I had today. We had so much fun. It had really been a while since we could just really get out and just have fun. And it's like cheap fun, right? Like it doesn't cost you anything to go walk around the flea market or an antique store. Lunch was $5 a piece. Snoogles were $3 a piece, which is outrageous, but it's so worth it, especially since I haven't had a snoogle in years. So that's it. Not really a whole lot going on. You know, the school year's busy, so super busy with stuff with the kids. And then, you know, I spent my Thursday through Sunday at the shop, which took up a lot of time, but totally worth it because I have so much fun there. Not a complaint at all. And then I'm so excited because I went to the post office Monday. I was thinking yesterday, but it had to have been Monday. And I went, and there was a Waikiki mug. So there says Waikiki. It has a big old pineapple, which is kind of funny because the pineapple's green and pineapples are yellow. But that's okay. There's no yellow on the mug. And that's what's fun, is they're all different and they're all kind of stylized. And it has a hibiscus and a coconut tree and all these cute little buildings. And of course the ocean because it's an island. And I love, it's like chartreusey green on the inside. So yay! So a lady that had come into the LYS, while she does not live in Waikiki, she has a sister or something who did and hooked me up with a Waikiki mug. So yay! I'm so excited. I haven't used it yet. I'm going to use it tonight when I have my cup of tea. Because I also did get a sugar cookie from the bakery. Because I haven't been there in years. So I had to kind of get a snoogle and a cookie for later. For dessert. It's so worth it. I promise. So, gosh. That's it for me this week. I'm going to be busy doing the last weekend at the yarn shop for the tour. And I will definitely have my Right as Rainbow sweater done this week. Maybe even my emerald sweater. But then I got to get the sleeves done on my husband's sweater. Before I start another sweater, that has to get done. Because I kind of got the eyeball, right? Like, I was trying on my Right as Rainbow, and he's like, that's cute. I kind of got that, and where's my sweater? No, he's being a great sport about it. I really don't think he's bothered by it at all. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for me. I'm Jenna, also known as RetroLemon. I'm RetroLemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Fitbit, and Weight Watchers. And until next week, I'll see you then. Bye.